Hey everybody. So it's a West Coast natural Wolverine here. And I'm the only Wolverine. All you guys that try to take my name, you're not even close to my strength level. And that's a fact. And all these guys, I'm going to do another video on Blaha right now.
Movements build the vast majority of our muscle, and isolation movements are used to fill in the gaps. This is a concept that most really experienced lifters understand. It's something that's been known for decades, but
what?
even though this philosophy has always been well understood, a lot of newer lifters don't understand this. And so while this statement I'm making in this video might seem
Okay, so he's telling all you new lifters what to do here, right? He can't speak to experienced lifters because he doesn't have the experience that I even have, does he? He's not even close to my strength level. And he's on steroids. He's just another junkie trying to tell you what to do. Meanwhile, they don't say the first thing they do is poke their fucking needles, okay? That's what they do. Now he's talking about compound movements, basically, and how they build the body. They don't build the body. What they do is they tear down your muscle. Rest and food builds the body. That's all you have to do. So when I go by, a lot of times when I really want to build muscle, I go once a week and I rip it until I'm sore, and I'm sore for like 3 or 4 days, and then I don't do it again until I'm not sore, even 7 days, even sometimes a couple days after that when I'm really sore. And that's how I got strong. You guys that are just doing it every fucking day, you're not building nothing. You're not ripping down nothing. You don't even get, this guy doesn't even get DOMs anymore, this Blaha. It's just fucking bullshit from this guy.
kind of funny to a lot of people who are listening regularly.
You're funny to me.
Know this, but tons of people don't, and so they need to hear this. And you have people who are a little newer to lifting. You know, people who sometimes maybe only been training a year. They may not know this, and I see this a lot. You'll see this to where people will be in the gym.
You guys don't even have the fucking hand strength to crush a 250.
Their muscles is to come in and try to isolate everything. Okay, and that's generally not the case. You will almost always have muscles that you have no need to isolate at all if your training is good. If your training is hard.
Didn't he say you cannot isolate a muscle? Didn't he go over that, this guy? Now he's saying you can isolate a muscle? This guy doesn't even know how to fucking build a biceps. Right? He's been doing curl. I've been telling him to do curls for fucking years, and he just started. Fuck. And I've been telling him to do pullovers as well, man, on the fucking bench. And he just started too. Then I watched him on his live, and then his buddy Jamie was on there, right? And then he started talking about pullovers and stuff on the floor. And then Jason's like, "Oh, I've been doing those for the last couple of weeks." Bullshit. He's such a fucking liar, isn't he?
So what people need to understand from an exercise economy perspective, big movements build a lot of muscle. Like, look at the big movements just for upper body you see in here. I'm not even showing my lower body stuff. You see me doing.
So what does it build?
This video, some flat benching, some incline benching, weighted pull-ups, underhand grip barbell rows. If you think about the muscles involved, every single muscle in the upper body has been worked with only 4 exercises.
Okay, so if you're working every single muscle in your body, how come you cannot power clean up 250 pounds and push press it over your fucking head? Or more than that, or even 225. How come? If you're working every single muscle in your body with these 4 exercises.
And we need to be clear, every muscle has been worked all the way down to a little bit of side delt and even bicep. Okay? Obviously, the entire back and chest and all of that has been worked. Okay? So,
okay.
You also see me doing some curls in here. Why? Because this
oh my
is
God.
enough for my biceps. And I think that's the take home that
you can't strict curl 150 fucking pounds against the wall there.
Is that you're going to have certain muscles
so you're not even doing nothing
with
for fucking biceps.
Maybe the specific compound movements you hit might only give certain muscles maybe 60 or 70, maybe even 80% of the total stimulus that they need to grow optimally.
You're doing it every couple days. You're not growing nothing. Your biceps are fucking nothing. The only thing that's changed on you is your abs from the pullovers that you never did before. Because you were doing unaccustomed
your
work.
triceps aren't being hit by the press tricep work. So on and so forth. Maybe you're not doing big compounds that hit the side delts particularly well, so you need to throw a lateral raise of some type in for it.
If you want to do lateral raises, do it like here for the front, and then do only 10 pounds like this, and build your fucking shoulders. If that's what you want, and overhead press.
In other words, if I take 3 different lifters with different genetics, different structures, and we give them the exact same program using just big exercises, okay? You know they're all going to proportion different as a result of that, okay? They're all going to proportion slightly different. They are all not going to grow the exact same ratio of pec to tricep, of lat
because
to
everybody's
bicep,
different.
of glute to quadricep, same size calves, right? Some of them are going to have nice, strong, decently balanced hamstrings. One of them might, and the other 2 might have weak hamstrings from the exact same 2 exercises, right, that we're doing. So this is the next thing that you have to look at. We should always base build off of big movements.
And your steroids, right?
They're effective. They have lots of carryover to strength as well. And I'm not saying...
Okay, so what carryover does it have? Even bench press. So let's just say you can bench press 315. You can't even overhead press 205. So what's the carryover from bench press to that? So I started doing overhead presses as my first movement, and now I can bench press all the way up, man. I just kept going up and up, and I'm not trying to kill myself on bench. I do it after my overhead presses, and my bench press strength goes up. So if you can overhead press 225, your bench press should be, if you do bench press, even sometimes, it should be over 315, easy. But you guys that do just bench press, you guys can't even fucking overhead press 185 or 205. And that's a fact right there.
Isolation movements don't make you strong because they can. They absolutely can if they address weak links on the big.
There he goes, isolation again. Remember how he talked about how isolation does not exist? He would argue about that shit? You're a flop.
Movements, right? If your triceps are limiting your bench press, of course, doing some tricep work.
I don't even work my fucking triceps. My triceps are fucking work for my overhead press and my bench.
In the real world,
and I do light kickbacks. That's it, light kickbacks. Just with these fucking 20s right here. Like this, I go like this, right? With kickbacks, man.
They still do
and that
these things,
fucking,
but everyone's gonna
that works better than all the bullshit that you guys are fucking doing with push presses, strict press, and bench press. Works your fucking triceps.
Most of your training with big movements makes sense. Why? Because they all work multiple muscles. Okay, every one of them work multiple muscles. They even work muscles you're not thinking about. Because how many guys are okay? I get it, chest and triceps. Okay, yeah. See, there's some delts involved, but what about other support muscles in your trunk and your torso?
All right. So even when this guy did, remember that 226, whatever the fuck he did over his head? He says, I seen that before a long time ago. He was not bench pressing at the time. He just did that. That's all. So he couldn't even bench press probably that much at that time. Now he just does straight fucking bench press, so he can't even overhead press nothing. He's always got an excuse that, I can't straighten my arm. Here's my arm. Man.
Same thing with pull-ups versus, doing a smaller movement. Rows versus a smaller movement. How many muscles are there through the whole torso that the guys aren't thinking about? How about your intercostals, your serratus, all along the rib cage, up throughout the back, your teres minor, your lower traps, your rhomboids. How about your...
They all get worked when I do my push presses and overhead presses and power cleans. My whole body gets worked more than anything that you are going to fucking tell these people.
And oftentimes we're not thinking about them. And then so you've got to ask, are they being worked? Well, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. And that's kind of the point. When you're doing enough big exercises, squat and deadlift variations, different types of chest pressing. Notice I didn't say it had to be a bench. It could be bench.
Now, why do you got to do so many fucking exercises? Like, what is it doing? You're not even fucking doing nothing. All you guys are doing all these different fucking exercises. It doesn't fucking do fuck all for you. If you want to get strong, you gotta fucking do certain exercises. I'm talking power clean and fucking push presses. That's all you fucking really need, in my opinion. And strict press, I do those as well, obviously. And bench press, because I like doing those kind of fucking pressing movements. Now, at my work, I do all my conditioning work because I'm a fucking mason. And I lift weights. I can squat even without fucking training. I've already shown it.
Maybe should be bench, pull-ups, rows. Right? If you're doing these things, you don't have to think about every single last small muscle because it's all being worked. What you then have to worry about is, where do I need more work to be where I need to be?
Overhead press.
Right? Because different people have different goals. Some people have more strength goals. Some people have more aesthetic and physique goals. But the idea is the same. And anyone who says, well, you don't see the best bodybuilders and fitness models doing...
Alright, so if you really want to get fucking ripped, you can't eat after 6 o'clock at fucking night, no matter how hungry you are. And that's a fucking fact. And then you'll lose weight, fat. And you can't eat bullshit, no fucking fast food or nothing like that. But what I found, I used to be fucking ripped before at 190, and if you look at my profile pictures, I was 190, basically 195, and I was ripped. I was basically at almost on a hyperglycemic level, because they did a blood test on me at the YMCA, and the nurse was like, what the fuck? I felt great still, but I had no fat on my body at all. And I could only bench press 350 like every 2 weeks, because I was so sore for the fucking whole 2 weeks, man. Now, you guys that take steroids, then you can be fucking ripped, right? And some of you guys with the good genetics, then you can be strong if you got good work ethic. But other than that, being natural and fucking ripped, you're not going to be too big, and you're not going to be too fucking strong all the time either. There's really no recovery. And there's other things as well.
All these big movements, of course you do. What do you mean? It's their bread and butter also. Just like the strength guy.
And I used to have guys coming up to me all the fucking time, man. Just crowd around me, man. When I had a girlfriend, too, at the same time, and she would always be like, holy fuck. It would kind of bother her in a sense, but she knows I'm not, I didn't go that way. She'd have all these guys telling her how good looking I was. I was just really ripped. Veins everywhere. You can see every fucking muscle. All in my ribs. I used to do a lot of planks and shit and twists like this. I used to work the sides a lot, the obliques, and that's what shows the fucking all the rib cage muscles. And I used to do the pullovers as well, working that rib cage.
Just like the football player, right? They all do these things.
And steroids. You gotta put that in, man. You always leave that out. Like you're some kind of fucking natural or something.
Right? That is what you're looking at. That's what we're looking at for them. They want to bring up each individual muscle. But let's say a muscle has 3 heads and you can work 2 of those 3 heads with a big movement very effectively.
Anyways, I can't even fucking listen to this guy sometimes. I'm just gonna do this just to fucking do it. Master C's right about a lot of shit. You gotta work out once a week and let it fucking heal. Remodel, rebuild, and repair, right? If you don't do that, you're never gonna get any fucking real muscle growth. You're only gonna get the newbie gains and that's it. And then you'll just fill up with fluid. Or you can take your steroids and fill up your muscles, right? And work those androgen receptors and get those big fucking shoulders that stick out. But like I see at my gym, man, these guys are bigger than me and they can't even fucking overhead press 185. So what good does that do? They can't even bench press 350. I was in there today, man. Everyone starts leaving the fucking room, man, because I'm fucking loud. I make my presence known. I don't give a fuck. I talk out loud. I really do, man. I'm not the best fucking nicest guy around. But when people talk to me, I'm really nice. But I do say, fuck, when someone says something to me, holy fuck, that's a lot. I say, yeah, I don't do fucking steroids. Steroids are fucking fake. I say it out loud. Out fucking loud. Because I speak the fucking truth.